Welcome to 5 Minutes in the Word, a daily devotional in the Word of God.
Derek, one thing that I've had to learn from the very beginning and still have to work on still today is being patient. Being patient on food in order for it to be prepared and you can eat it, not have food poisoning or different things like that. But one thing that we as Christians have to learn to do also is be patient. Be patient in faith. One story that kind of jumps out to me comes from Luke 8. And in Luke chapter 8, in the last portion of this chapter, Jesus heals a woman with a bleeding disorder and Jairus' daughter as well. And to me, patience is a huge theme throughout this entire story. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, you see him in there, starting in verse 40 of chapter 8. It says, it was when Jesus returned that the multitude welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Jairus. He was a ruler of the synagogue, and he fell down at Jesus' feet and begged him to come to his house, for he had only a daughter about 12 years of age, and she was dying. But as he went, the multitude thronged him. Now a woman having a flow of blood for 12 years, who had spent all of her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any, came from behind and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood stopped. Now, I want us to look at this. Here is this daughter that she is 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Here is this woman who has been dealing with an issue for 12 years. Yeah. Okay, so the girl's entire life, this woman has been struggling. She's been suffering. She's been going through this illness of hers that just kept going on. And I'm sure at numerous times in this, she probably thought it was just never going to stop. Yeah. It was never going to stop until the moment that she sees Jesus coming. And you see this woman, she acts out in faith. She takes the initiative to go to him. She had waited all this time. She had been patient through all of this. But now Jesus has come, and she goes from behind him, and she touches the border of his garment, and she's healed. In fact, you see there that Jesus is going to say in verse 45, he says, who touched me? When all denied it, Peter and those with him said, Master, the multitudes throng and press you, and you say, who touched me? But Jesus said, somebody touched me, for I perceived power going out from me. Now when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling, and falling down before him, she declared to him in the presence of all the people the reason she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said to her, Daughter, be of good cheer, your faith has made you well, go in peace. Jesus, this was something that he did continually. He healed people, and he healed people in various ways. Here in this instance, she'd been waiting for this for a long time, and then now she touches the hem of his garment, and she's immediately healed. But there's someone in this story that's still waiting.
Exactly.
See, we started the story, Jairus had come to him because his daughter was dying. Mm-hmm. And that's where they're headed, but the crowds were just so heavy around them, they couldn't really get through easily. And so that's what happens in verse 49. While he was still speaking, someone came from the ruler of the synagogue's house saying to him, your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher. I can't imagine what Jairus is going through in this moment. It says, but when Jesus heard it, he answered him, saying, do not be afraid, only believe, and she will be made well. When he came into the house, he permitted no one to go in except Peter, James, and John, and the father and the mother of the girl. Now all wept and mourned for her, and he said, do not weep, for she is not dead but sleeping. And they ridiculed him, knowing that she was dead. But he put them all outside, took her by the hand, and called, saying, little girl, arise. Then her spirit returned, and she arose immediately. And he commanded that she be given something to eat. And her parents were astonished, but he charged them to tell no one of what had happened. Here is this man who has come to the Lord. No, he hadn't been waiting 12 years, but he was waiting through this whole, travel, this whole journey back to his house for Jesus to come and to heal his daughter. And that's exactly what happens. And what I think we can see a lot of good things from this, that when we wait on the Lord, Jesus is going to answer our prayers.
Exactly. In Psalm 27, the psalmist says verbatim that. Psalm 27, verse 14, wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Be patient in his timing, because it's according to his will and his plan. It is cool to see that Jairus' reward for waiting was that he got his daughter back.
Right.
And to me, waiting on the Lord and being patient in His will, being patient in our faith in His will, actually, raises a question: don't we want to be rewarded for the Lord or by the Lord too? Whether that is, or hopefully that is, in being faithful in our salvation in Him.